Hello, everybody. I'm hoping that you are on live tonight with me. And if you are watching the replay, thank you very much for joining me on the replay. We're going to give it a few minutes and see who joins us. So it sure has been hot. We did get a little bit of rain. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I'm going to fix my, oops. I got to fix some things here, everybody. So, okay. I've definitely got to fix my...
You have got to fix this coffee and chat thing.
Yes, I do. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's got to be fixed. I got to take something out. So let me fix my camera here. Is that showing just my...
No, it's get that direction.
Just trying to figure things out here, ladies. Fellow stampers.
Don't touch.
Okay, she said not to touch. Although I still see stuff I don't like seeing in the screen. But I think it's because I have this too close to me. Okay. All right. So tonight we are going to be working with the Timeless Arrangement bundle. So it comes with a stamp set that has a lot of nice greetings with it, and then some images as well. And then it has a set of dies. And these dies are really unique in the way that they are made. I have not yet got this inventoried and all cut out yet. So bear with me as I get this all opened up. I'm going to grab something that is, we'll grab a piece of paper. There we go. So this is one die that cuts out 2 flowers and then a little banner. Then we have this die here that has the banner and some leaves. This one here. And this one here that has the banner and some more flowers. And then it has 3 greeting spots and then some dies that match the stamp set. So it has a die that cuts this out and this one out. It has a die that cuts out this little stem of foliage, the flower, and then the leaf. And let's see, I think that's all of them. And then it just has a die just to cut out a piece of foliage. So tonight we are using several of these dies, and I've already got the stuff die cut for the base of the cards and stuff. Let me show you the paper that we're working with. It is the Hello Irresistible. And it is beautiful paper. It is an online exclusive only, so you will not find it in a catalog anywhere. You will find it online. Timeless Arrangements is in the annual catalog. So here's our paper. Hi, Beverly. Welcome tonight. So we have this piece here that has like the watercoloring on one side and then the beautiful flowers on the other side that make a real pretty card. Let me see if I can adjust my light here so that it's maybe not quite so bright. There. Okay. Then we have the leaves. And then on the other side, it's got some polka dots or just some dots and white area. So that's really pretty. We're going to use that piece tonight. Here's a piece that with the dies for the irresistible dies, they will cut out these flowers. So that's always a unique thing. And then on the back, it has some more watercolor mark. Here's another piece that has the big flowers that you can use for the die cut. And on the back, then it has the Flirty Flamingo color. Here's a checkered, and then on this side it's the dark green. We have the leaves. We're going to use this tonight in our cards. And then the background of that is the grid. This one has the, it's either Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock with the Daffodil Delight. And then you have the watercolor on the back. This piece here has got multiple colors in it. It's got the soft sea foam, Daffodil Delight, a little bit of Flirty Flamingo in there. And then on the back it has the grid. And then we have this piece here that has all leaves on it. And then on the back it has the watercolor. So that's the pack of paper that we're going to be working with tonight. And the first card, oh, let me announce our winners from last week. Last week we made these 2 birthday cards. And the winner of this is Cherie. So congratulations, Cherie, for winning last week's cards. I will be getting those to you. And I've just realized that my piece here on the front is a little crooked, so I'm going to have to do some card surgery on that. All right, we'll set those aside. Okay, so let me get out the card that we're going to make. This is what I'm going to need for later. I am also adding in a couple of extra greeting stamp sets. Hope you know, and kindest expressions. This has got the great big stamp, so I really like that. All right, we're going to be using soft sea foam. And the first card that we're making is a sympathy card. I know that a lot of people don't like to make sympathy cards, but it is a part of life. So this is the first card that we're making, and it's just black and white with a hint of the soft sea foam on it. Very soft toned for that, so I thought that was really pretty. And I stamped it with the pebbled path. I didn't really want the bold black, so I just toned it down with the pebbled path. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of stamping here, and we're going to cut out our flower. And we are going to stamp our little flower in soft sea foam. Set our die aside. And I'm using my silicone mat for my stamping pad. And we need 2 flowers. So there's our 2 flowers. Now we're going to do a little bit of inking for our greeting. No, I'm sorry, that's on the next card. Sorry about that. Got mixed up. We do need to die cut, and I will go ahead and stamp the with sympathy. And like I said, that is being stamped in the pebble path. I don't know where the rest of my ladies are tonight. Hopefully they'll join in. And then I will make a few announcements at the end of the card class tonight. So with sympathy has been stamped, and we're going to die cut that with one of the dies. All right, I am going to bring in my mini boss, which is my small cut and emboss machine. This is one of the dies that comes with this set, and we're going to just die cut with sympathy to hold that in place so it doesn't shift on me. I'm going to put a little bit of post-it labeling tape, and then we're going to use our flower, and we're going to die cut our flower. And it's real soft with the soft sea foam. You don't really, it's not a standout color, but I didn't want a real bright color since it's for a sympathy card. I wanted it kind of just a real pretty soft tone on it. Okay, now if you remember what I had told you all last week, I believe I used the mini cut and emboss machine. I don't use the layers or the sandwich like they show I use the number 3 plate as my base plate. Then I use a number 2 plate, and I stagger these. And then I'm going to put my paper down, and then I'm going to put on top of that another number 2. And I do have those staggered so that it grabs that and doesn't give me a lot of headache because it won't catch it. Okay, so we'll cut our other flower out now. And this is relatively a fast card once you get all your pieces cut out. Probably the longest job that you have to do. We're going to cut that out, remove this die. Stagger our plates again. Okay. All right. Well, I know one person that's not going to be here this evening, and that's my mom. Some of you know and some of you don't, but Pat is in the hospital at the moment. A week ago tomorrow, she went to the emergency room because she was having great pains in her abdomen. So we spent the night in the emergency room. She spent the night to be admitted. And she had a twisted intestine. But she was also diagnosed with a hernia in her stomach area. So that's, they're not worried about that too much right now. But she got that all cleared up with her intestine and went home on Monday.
No,
Sunday. And Tuesday, I took her back up to Jeff City to St. Mary's because she had an infection where they had the IV in her hand, which was her left hand over here. And I mean, it was the size of a $50 infected area. So they did multiple blood tests on her, and she is recouping. She does have a staph infection, so she will be in the hospital for a while. All right, so the next thing that we do is I have a piece of black. My card base is black, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of black that measures 3.5 by 3 inches, and that's going to be on for the front. Then I had a piece of white, basic white, that measures out at 4 by 5 1/4, and I ran that through the embosser with the painted texture 3D embossing folder to give it some texture. And I love that embossing folder, so that will go on there. This piece here, we're going to use the decorative corner punch. I can't remember the true name to it, but that's what I'm calling it. And when there's a trick to this one, so you want to put your paper in and line it up on the guides, punch it, but then you want to flip it over and put it in and not just move it, because your corners won't match up if you do it just by flipping it around. So we're going to go back over to this side, and let's see, how do I want to do this? I want to do this like this, and then do this way. Beverly, if you want to send her a card, if you want to send it to my address, and then I can get it up to her. She's at St. Mary's in room 315. So if you address it to her in room 315, it should get to her. But I
wouldn't send it to the hospital.
Yeah, I would just send it here, and I can take it up to her, and she would be just most appreciative on that. All right, so we've got that. We've got our die for the flowers. We are going to stamp our inside greeting, and it says, "May you find peace in the days to come, and then the loving thoughts that surround you now." And we're going to stamp that also in the pebbled path. Get all our stamping done, and then we can assemble this card. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that in the center the best I can. Okay, that looks good. Now, I think we're going to, I didn't finish the inside of my card, but I think for the inside of this one, I'm going to follow through with the little flowers here, and I'm going to do those in the soft sea foam. Bring back in my silicone mat. And we're just going to put those little flowers right there in the corner so that it just kind of adds something to the inside there. You know, we don't want to make it too fancy dancy since it is a sympathy card. It needs to be muted down and not have all of our normal stuff on it. Okay, clean off these. And now we're going to assemble our card. So we're going to attach this for the inside. So if you are watching the replay and you do not have a demonstrator and would like to have a demonstrator that will be your creative coach, please send me an email at SuzieQs@gmail.com. And also, if you place an order with me on my Stampin' Up! Store of $50 between now and July 27th, I will have a mini catalog sent out to you. And if you've placed an order with me previously this year, in the last few months, then you are automatically placed on my mailing list for the catalogs. Right, I'm just placing down my embossed piece now onto the front of my card. Okay, and we're going to attach the black piece in the center. Like so. And now the fun begins. I really love these dies for the way you can attach them together. It's really fun. So what I've used is I have got two that are like this. So one's going to go on the bottom and one's going to go on the top of our greeting. So it'll go like this. And that is what is so cool about this die set, is that it comes like this. And then my little dots didn't come out of this, so we'll get rid of those little pieces. Okay, I've got two flowers that have the little holes in them. Whoops, I missed one of those. It's wanting to hang on to it. Okay, so I've got two with the holes, and then I've got two plain white ones. So these are white. And then I have one of the green flowers, and that was cut out from some of the designer series paper that had the leaves on it with the little dots all over it. And then we have our two flowers that we stamped and die cut. And then I have an extra leaf. No, I have two extra leaves. So if we need filler, we got it. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to use my, oh, good. Oh, I'm sorry, Beverly, that you've lost another friend. So I'm going to put glue right here on that little extra banner piece that's cut out. And then I'm going to attach my greeting to it. So you can kind of look on the back and make sure that it's all nice and even. And I butted it right up to the left-hand side. And then for the bottom one, I will butt it up to the, did I say right or left? You butt it up to the left side, and then the bottom one, you're going to butt up to the right side. So anyway, Pat had the, there was an orthopedic surgeon that came in this evening and drained that infected part of her hand. She did test positive for a staph infection. So they told me that she will probably be in the hospital for at least 2 weeks to do the IV antibiotics. So that's going to be fun. All right, now I'm just going to start building my arrangement. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue back here, and that's where I'm going to put my flowers. So they're going to kind of go behind my leaves. And we're going to build flowers all the way around our sympathy saying, okay? And we're just going to kind of leave it lay down this way so that I don't get glue all over my hands. And then over here in the corner, I believe I did a leaf. Let me see, I got to look at this way and see what I did. Okay, so I did a leaf over here on this side. So we're going to put a little tad of glue there. I did the top side and then I just kind of mirrored it to the bottom. And you don't need a whole lot of glue because I'm going to put dimensionals on this. And then I put one of these flowers coming off the side. And of course, you can do this however you would want. You don't have to design it like me at all. This is just to give you an idea how to use this bundle. It is a really nice, simple bundle to use. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to take one of my flowers that have the holes in it, and it's going to be placed there. So it just kind of fills in that little area. Use my tweezers here. See if it'll work better and I don't get my hands all sticky. Okay. And now we're just going to kind of repeat that down here on the bottom. So we're going to start with, we're going to put our flower down here in this corner. Like so. Okay. And then we're going to take our little white flower and we're going to put it between these two leaves here. Of course you are. I could have probably used the little blue dots and they maybe, whoops, that did not get turned the way I wanted it to. Let's get you off of there and turn you the other direction. There we go. I didn't want it pointing up. I wanted it pointing down. Okay. Oh, sticky, sticky. Okay, now I'm going to put my other leaf right here. And my other little white flower back behind both of these leaves so that they kind of just peek out from behind there. Well, sticky fingers. Stop. Okay. And then I want something to fill in right there. So I've got an extra little green foliage part. And I'm just going to kind of move my flowers or my leaves back behind my flowers a little bit so that they show. Okay. And we're going to take these little flowers here and I'm just going to put them down here at the bottom. So you can put as much foliage as you desire on this. And you just kind of build it up. Okay. All right. So once you got that done, then we're going to take some, we're going to just adhere that flat down so that we don't have it too bumpy for the mail since the postage has gone up. So now I'm just going to put glue all over the back of this. And all of those little pieces then will be attached to our card. I'm not worrying about attaching the flowers or anything down. And now I'm just going to put this on the front of our card. And the foliage can definitely go off of our black piece. Now, if you want, you can go back here and with just a very tiny bit of glue and attach those leaves down. Well, come on, attach. We'll just put a little bit of glue on some of these leaves just to make sure that they're not moving around during the putting it in an envelope and it doesn't catch on the envelope. Like I said, this is just a very easy set to work with, and it's nice because you can use it. Oh yes, there's my dogs wanting to make sure that we all know that they're around. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little black bow, and this is using the basic baker's twine set that you get. I'm cleaning some of the glue off of my hands, so if you're wondering why I'm not making my bow yet. However, the bow that I made on mine, I think is going to be about the right size. So we're just going to use my bow maker here. And I'm going to tie a bow. Yeah, so my week since last Friday has been spent in hospitals, which is not fun. I did take some time out for myself today, and I visited Dr. Poole for about an hour or two till it was time to come in and fix supper. So that was nice. I enjoyed that. So now I'm just tying that off. Cut that string down. And again, I'm using just a little bit of glue down here in the right-hand corner. And I am going to place my bow there and let it sit and dry. Okay, so one thing that you can do if you've got a pair of these, I call them backward tweezers, you can put your tweezers like in the middle of that knot and it'll help hold that until it's good and dry. So that's our first card. So we'll set that aside. But I thought that turned out really pretty for a very nice sympathy card. Okay. All right. So our next card now is using the same bundle, the Timeless arrangements, but this time it's a thank you card. And we're using the same paper pack, the Hello Irresistible. We are using a thank you and the other one that says from my heart. It's actually part of that stamp set. We're using this one here, from the bottom of my heart, and then I'm using the thank you here. And I really like the way I did the inside of this card. It really turned out really pretty. I kind of followed through with the whole theme of the card. So let me show you what the card looks like. So this is the front of it, and then this is the inside of it. So as you see, I kind of followed through with the same paper and the same color of my foliage. So I did foliage in the soft sea foam along with the Flirty Flamingo, because those are two colors that come in and coordinate with this paper pack. Okay, so let's get started here. The first thing that we need to do is we're going to do some inking and then stamp our greeting. Don't know why I grabbed those to cut paper. Those are my ribbon scissors.
I was going to say, thought those were special ribbon
Yes,
scissors.
they were. They are. They are. All right, so now what I am using a different color. I am using Pretty Peacock and Flirty Flamingo, and we are going to do some inking on our basic white to give our white a little bit of color and tone it down. Sometimes white is so stark white that it's like, I don't want it to be that white. So I'm just cleaning off my brushes a little bit. And we need it for we need it for both the outside and the inside. So let's start with our Pretty Peacock, and we're gonna kind of dab it off because it's kind of dark. We're gonna come in from the side, and we're gonna go kind of right there in the center. And I got that kind of dark. Let's see if I can get it lightened up. Let's go on the other side because I don't want that dark. So we're going to go at the top, and then we're going to come up from the bottom, because in the center for the front of this card, we're doing the Flirty Flamingo. And again, I don't want it dark. I just want it to give it a hint of color so that it's just not stark white. And then we're coming in, and I'm just going to blend those two colors together. So that's for our outside. And now for our inside, we're going to do the same, but I'm going to start in the center with my Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to come in, because this die cut is very small and narrow. Okay, so then I'm going to come in with my Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to go over all of that.
You might have to hold it up because it just
Okay.
looks like a white piece of paper.
Okay. So can you all see that?
It's hard to see. But
okay. It's really light, but can you see it on the card here?
Yes.
Okay. So once we stamp on it, it kind of brings that color out. I can do it a little bit darker because it's not quite as dark as what I had with my original. Okay, so I love using the blending brushes in this manner so that it just kind of gives that paper, that white paper, a tone down. I don't know, I got something drug across that, so we're gonna kind of do this to where it might just show a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo. All right, so now let's go ahead and stamp our greetings. The outside greeting is the one that says, from the bottom of my heart. And that's stamped in the Pretty Peacock. And then on the inside, stamped with the Flirty Flamingo, is the one that says thank you. So I think Mom is getting excellent care at St. Mary's, and so I think that this card, my card, will probably go up there to the nurses station for all of them. So there's the thank you. And now we're going to run this through the mini moss.
Shirley's on.
Hi, Shirley. How are you, dear? It was so good to talk to you today. Okay, you'll have to watch the replay for the first card, but I'll show it to you at the end. So here is our little mini machine. And my cutting plate. Where's my little top plate? There it is. I found it. We can quit looking for it.
Quit looking. Okay.
Yeah, we can quit looking. All right. So like I said, I used the number 3 plate, a number 2 plate staggered off, and then the second number 2 plate staggered from that first number 2. And then it seems to take it right through. Oh, I'm glad that I make you feel better, Shirley. Okay. All right, so we have those cut. I've already pre-cut my flowers and all of that. So these were the only 2 things that I needed to stamp and die cut tonight. All right, so Shirley, this is the card that we're making. And this is using the Timeless Arrangements and the Hello Irresistible paper. Okay. All right, so set those aside and bring in my glue mat. So the first one that we're going to do is we're going to attach the paper to the front of our card. And this is Flirty Flamingo, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And then scored at 5 1/2. And I'm going to use the leaves on the top part and our little grid on the bottom part. And then I'm going to put in a piece of Pretty Peacock, a strip that will cover up our seam. Okay, so let's do that first. And we're basically going to do the same thing on the inside, but with smaller pieces. You could probably get one card made out of the 6x6. I messed up when I cut it, so I was a little short. So I had to cut another piece. But there's that piece. Whoops, almost didn't get it on the right side. I love that this paper coordinates both sides and it doesn't look silly. I used to have a terrible, terrible time mixing patterns. It was very difficult for me to mix patterns, but I know that with the Stampin' Up! Designer paper, they all coordinate, so I can do that. I got my mind is okay now with mixing paper. Okay, so this piece here measures at 4 by 3, and then our bottom piece is 4 by 2 1/4. Okay, and then our inside, because we're going to go ahead and place it down too, the one piece, they are measured at 2 7/8, and so 2 7/8 by 2 inches and 2 inches. So it's 2 7/8 by 2 inches for our inside pieces. And we're going to do the same thing on the inside of our card as we did on the outside, except in the center of our card, we're going to have our 2 pieces of paper laid down. I didn't think that we necessarily needed a piece of white laid down, and this just kind of goes right with the front of the card. It all kind of coordinates. So we're going to lay this piece down. I think I'm going to lay it with the darker piece up, or the darker side up, and place that as close to the center as I can. And now we're going to lay this piece down. And I'm just button the two pieces right up against each other, because now I've got two pieces of the pretty peacock that is 1/4 of an inch wide, and this one is your 2 7/8. So we're going to glue it down, and that's going to cover up our seam in our papers. Okay, and then this one is the same width as this, which is the 4 1/4. So that's going to get laid down there. Well, Shirley, mom went through the procedure this afternoon just fine. It appears that she is going to be in the hospital for at least 2 weeks, is what the infectious disease doctor said, since she has staph infection and they want to treat it with an antibiotic IV. So we shall see what happens. All right, now we're going to build up our outside and our inside tags, our greetings. So I've already pre-cut these, and I did use the designer series paper like I had on the other card. Okay, so I have the light green that has the little polka dots or the little dots on the outside or on the back side of it here. This paper here. So it has leaves on one side, and then it has the little white dots. Okay, and then for the other ones, I used this one here that had the flirty flamingo and then the big flowers on the other side. So those were the two colors from the DSP that I used. I thought they were very soft and subtle, and they didn't overpower the rest of the card with the with cardstock. All right, so for the front, I have to find my card. Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay, so for the front of the card, I used one of these that have the little greenery up over it. I used one of, what did I do with it? Oh, well, it's okay. I didn't cut the right one, but I'm using one of these that have the little tiny flowers on the ends. And then for an additional one, I'm just going to add in one that I'd cut off earlier. And then I'm going to add in, let's see, I'm trying to see. I think I cut these apart, these little green ones apart, and I added those. Okay. And the way I did this one was I kind of stacked them. I said, okay, I want to do, oops, it would certainly help, ladies, if I was looking at the front of the card, because I thought, why in the world is this not working out? Now I get it. Duh. Okay. Forget everything I just said. We're going to use one of these that have the two large leaves on it and then coming out. Then I'm using this piece here. So that piece is going to be layered on that. Then we're going to layer on top of that. We're going to layer, I still didn't cut the right flowers out, but that's okay. We're going to use one of these that have the green. This was the hardest part. My fingers didn't want to cooperate. So what I did was I started every other color. So I did green on the bottom, then I did my Flirty Flamingo, then I did another green, and then I did another Flirty Flamingo. So not necessarily that. That one is not going to work. I'm going to have to cut my green one, which is no big deal because otherwise they don't line up right. And you'll understand when I show you these again what I'm talking about. Lining them up this way, they all kind of go in between each other. And so that's what the cool thing is. So this is the one I want with the flowers that are got the holes in them. Get rid of all these extra little chads. And then I'm going to cut this out of a piece of the green because that's what I want, is it needs to be green. And I have it in the Flirty Flamingo, but not the green. So I know I have a piece of scrap. There it is. What? Just here's my scrap, see? All right, I need to cut it down so that it will fit into my little machine. All right. So did you guys get any rain last night? Shirley or Beverly? We got some, but not enough. I'm telling you, we are still really dry. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run this through my little boss here.
Little boss.
My little boss.
Last week he called it baby blue. This
Oh,
week
okay.
Little
All right.
boss.
Well, let's vote on the name. Should we call it Baby Boss or Little Blue?
No. Little blue.
Little Blue or Baby Boss.
Okay.
Okay. Put down what you think I ought to call it in the comments, girls. And those that are watching on the replay, vote and see. Let's see what I should call my little blue machine.
Little blue machine.
Little blue machine? No, that doesn't sound very cool. All right.
A little blue machine.
So I'm done with that. Let's get this built. Because I did sit and think, okay, how can I do this to where I can build them all up on each other and then it'll all be alternated. So there is one. Where's my green big leaves? So there is my big green leaves. Here is my Flirty Flamingo. And here is my other green one. And then I'm going to take one of my Flirty Flamingos. And let's see, that's not looking like that. Let me see what I did wrong. I think I used an extra one of those. I think I cut it. Okay. All right, so I'm taking and I'm going to glue these all in one layer. So I'm going to take and glue my Flirty Flamingo. Whoops. You could even use this side if you wanted white dots on it. And I'm going to glue it to my green piece. Now I'm going to take my other Flirty Flamingo and I'm going to attach it behind my leaves so that it's kind of peeking behind the leaves. That makes all sense, doesn't it? Okay, ladies, I have to apologize. I am just like wiped mentally. But one of my good things for this week is that I get to spend this little bit of time with you guys because I enjoy getting to spend time with all of you. So now I'm going to take my last green one and I'm going to put it on the front side. And like I said, you don't have to do this exactly like I'm doing it. I mean, this set, you can go with any kind of colors, any kind of paper, whether it's the designer series paper or cardstock. All right, now I know I have, here's one little lonely flower. And I think I'm going to put it kind of right here in the front to kind of bring everything together. So we're going to attach that little babe right there. And all this is going to be covered up, so we're not having to worry about all of that not being even. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take this and we are going to attach it to the top of our greeting using some glue. All right. And so that's on our greeting. Now we're going to use some dimensionals. Where did I put them at? I know I had them out. Oh well, we'll just get them in my drawer and get some more out. There's some big ones, or I can get some big ones. Okay, so I'm gonna put some like on top of my paper that I have there, and that kind of holds it down. It gives it something else to stick to. And I'm going to be quite generous with these. Oh, I got to tell you, I was working on these cards this morning, very early in the morning, and my assistant was still sleeping. My large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the handle fell off. Well, I know that sometimes that happens, and it's just because of the way that little screw has been turned. If it's turned one direction all the time, you're liable to lose it. So I get that. Well, I thought, well, I can get it back on. Okay, so there is our front of our card from the bottom of my heart. And my stamping is not quite even, so you'll get the one that is even. Now we're going to work on the inside of it, and we're going to basically do the same thing. So anyway, I was taking it apart, and I had it all apart, and doggone it, the little nut that you have to use to put it into the machine, I lost it. It fell out. Talk about being upset. I thought, oh my gosh, now I'm going to have to get a whole brand new machine. And that just isn't going to work for me right now. So I'm sitting at my desk contemplating things, and I look over by my register for the air conditioning, and there it was. I was so excited. All right, so because I've got just the ones that have no holes in these flowers, we're going to take and cut these apart because they match up to our pink ones already, and I don't want them layered on top. So we're going to do this, and we can trim off our excess. So we're just going to do this one a little bit different. So we're going to start with this one as the base and put our green one right there. Oops. We're going to put that green one right there in the center of those two, and then we're going to trim this off. I shouldn't have put glue all the way over, but I did. Okay. That way it doesn't have... Shirley votes baby blue. You have a grand dog named Blue, Beverly? All right, so there is that one. Now we're going to go ahead and layer our Fleur de Flamingo flowers.
Well, if you called it Little Boss, then you got your Big Boss over there.
Right. Well, I could
call it Whitey.
I can't. Why?
That's a little offensive.
Oh, okay.
Although that's what you wanted to call it last week.
Yeah, I did. Just call it. Yeah, okay. All right, so there is that. Now we're going to take the other part of that green flower, and we're going to kind of, oops, we're not going to lose it on the floor. We're going to stick him over here behind those so that it just kind of fills it in. So that's why I really like this set for these border flowers that you can use, because you can cut them apart and just place them where you really want to have them. You don't have to necessarily use them the way they are designed to. Okay, now we're going to take and put a couple of these big leaves, and we're going to put them on the top on each side, because this one on the inside is not going to be popped up with dimensionals. It's going to be laid flat. So there's a leaf on that side and a leaf on the other side. Oh, that was silly. I put the glue on the wrong side. Silly, silly me. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to take our thank you banner, and we are going to put it on top of all of this. So it's going to hold all of this together. Just like so. That's scooted over there. So there is our inside piece. And that's going to be placed right here over that pretty peacock piece. Just like that. Okay, and again, if you want to make some of these flowers lay down so that they don't get caught, you most certainly can by just doing one of the flowers at the top so that they just kind of lay down and they're not all flipping up. Okay, so there is the card. And I guess I thought I had to cut, I was cutting the wrong one. So, all right, let me move all this stuff out of our way, and I will bring in the cards again. And then we will go over my announcements that I want to remind everybody of. Okay, so there is, oops, get off of there. There is card number 2. And here is our card number 1. We'll take our tweezers off of our knot because that's probably adhered down now. So there's card number 1. Here's card number 2. So let me know which card you like best. The sympathy card or the thank you card. All right. My announcements are, for those that may be watching the replay, if you don't currently have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator and help you with all of your creative possibilities. If you order $50 between now and July 27th and you use my current host code, you will get a free gift sent to you, but I will also put you on my mailing list to receive a mini catalog that will come out at the end of August. Remember that bonus days will go until July 31st, and that's where if you spend $50, every $50 that you spend, you will get a $5 coupon to spend in August, the month of July. Tomorrow we have our coffee and chat at 10 o'clock. And don't forget to go online and check out the online exclusives that we're offering right now, along with the clearance rack. They've got a lot of good deals right now on the clearance rack for stamps and dies and ribbons and embellishments and all of that. So that's a great place that you can get a lot of great deals right now on the clearance rack, everybody. So please use my host code so that I can send you that special gift with a $50 purchase. And I do have Stampin' Rewards that I offer myself, or loyalty rewards, not Stampin' Rewards, loyalty rewards. For every $30 that you earn, you get to have a heart crossed off. And then once you get the card filled with 16 hearts, then you get $20 worth of free product on me. So these are the cards that I made tonight. I will post pictures out on my blog with basic measurements for you. And we will see you then all hopefully tomorrow on the coffee and chat at 10 o'clock. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it, and I love spending time with you all. Bye.